All right, everyone, if we would raise our hands in the Zoom function, I will call on you for Markelle Fultz. And since he was very early, we'll start with Chris Cuff, 24 Flicks.
Hey, what's up, Markelle? How you doing, man?
How you doing?
Awesome, man. Just wanted to ask how your time off was and how you're coming along and working on your game and getting ready for this season.
I think the time off was good. The turnaround was kind of like crazy a little bit, not knowing like when we were going to start and everything. But I'm actually happy just to be back in the gym, and getting ready to compete with my team and getting ready to go chase another great season. And workouts is going really well. Every day I'm coming in, I feel like I'm getting better. Not only on the court, but in the weight room, I feel like I'm getting stronger every day. So it's been kind of fun, just with all the craziness going on in the world, just to be able to come into a place where I feel comfortable, feel safe, and doing what I love and playing basketball. So it's been good.
Josh Robbins, The Athletic.
Markelle, good morning.
Good morning.
What are the areas individually that you want to improve on in the season ahead?
I think there isn't nothing specific really. I want to work on everything, but kind of been keying in on pull-ups, threes off the dribble, getting more comfortable shooting my shot off the dribble, and then just really defensively, just getting the right technique down, so I can be able to play a little bit better defense on the other end of the floor, so it can make my offense a little bit easier. But really just everything, passing, finishing at the rim, but I think a little bit more just pull up threes off the dribble and getting that rhythm back for the three.
Dan Savage, OrlandoMagic.com.
Markelle, you're somebody who's had to, prove people wrong throughout your career, whether it was, coming back to play, then proving yourself as a starter in this league, and, now going about proving that you belong amongst the conversation of the elite point guards in this league. How comfortable are you with that process of proving people wrong, and how accustomed have you become to it?
It's actually like my whole life, it's even before I got to the NBA, just growing up, I wasn't the most ranked, kid coming up. I wasn't the most highly scouted kid, but one thing that I always had was a work ethic, and I worked extremely hard. I'm always going to be coachable, and I'm always going to put myself in the best position, to be the best player on the floor and help my team win. That's the most important thing. And I'm really comfortable at this stage. I actually like being doubted. I like people not thinking I can do something, and I just love proving people wrong. But more so, it's just a thing that I have within myself, is just coming in every day, working as hard as I can, and using the gifts that God gave me. And just putting hard work with it and just going as far as I want to go. I think my destiny is as far as I want to take it.
Roy Perry, Orlando Sentinel.
Hey, Markelle, good to see you. I'm just curious how the shoulder is feeling, and how much work you're still having to do with that, and if you're not having to work as much with it, how much of a how much more comfortable are you just working on other parts of your game, if that's not a case now?
Yeah, my shoulder's been great, really. I haven't really had to, as far as rehab or anything, had to do anything like to get it back to normal. It's been pretty normal right now. Just it's something I don't have to maintain through my whole career, but just making sure I stay on top of it, and that's something that I've put into my weight room plan and my pregame plan, just to make sure I'm doing a little bit of stuff to keep it sharp. And it's been really good. So I've been more so, this is probably my first year since I've been in the NBA where I can just focus on basketball really and strengthen. And so that's been a blessing, really. And I thank God for that, and thank the training staff that we have here in Orlando, and them putting together a great plan for me to work hard and get that under control. So now I'm really just focusing on being the best basketball player I can be, taking care of my body, and just trying to get better every day, like I said before, and it's been going well.
Adam Shadow, Fox 35.
Hey, Markelle. Hey, after last season, how much kind of you improved as you went on, and how much better that you played from the end of the year starting to the beginning of the year? How much more do you think you can improve this year, and what would you say is your ceiling as a player?
Well, to answer the beginning question, just from the beginning of last season to the end of it, I think it was all with just getting that comfortable being on the floor and getting used to having that experience of being on the floor. That was like really my first year, actually being able to play a full season. So it was so much fun, just to be able to grow and learn from my mistakes. And now I'm at a place where, I feel like I can just keep growing. I don't think I have a ceiling to answer your second question. I think my ceiling is, again, excuse me, as high as I want it to be. You know, I believe that that's one of the great things that I feel about myself is that I feel as though I'm very talented, but I have a lot to work on and a lot to improve, and that's what makes me, you know, wake up every morning so excited to just come in the gym and try to figure out, you know, what's next and sharpen, you know, the next tool in my game. So I'm always looking to improve, and I think this season you're going to see a lot of that. Just, you know, better playmaking, better, you know, decisions on the defensive end, and just helping my team win even more. You know, being more of a leader with the more experience I get.
Jamie Say, WKMG.
Hey, Markelle, I'm wondering what you think of Cole Anthony's game, and do you see yourself in a mentor role to him?
I love Cole's game. I think he's a young guard who had to go through a little bit of adversity, you know, through college, kind of like I had to, you know, with not being on a team that was that great. But he also went through an injury, and I think I can be a mentor to him. I think as far as, you know, being somebody who's older, who's been through a lot, I'm always going to be here to give him advice. And he's a great kid. You know, he comes in, he works hard, very athletic, knows how to play the game, and I think he's very coachable. So I think it's going to be very fun to be able to play with someone like that who, you know, is young, athletic, you know, and really loves the game. You can tell he loves when he comes in and works hard. So I think he's going to be a great fit for us. But I definitely feel like, you know, I wouldn't be doing the best by me, you know, if I didn't help him out through the way, you know. So I'm here for him. I think I let him know that, you know, I'm going to be here for him if he needs anything. And I'm excited.
Philip Rossman Reich, Orlando Magic Daily.
Hey, Markelle. A lot of us pundits and analysts always kind of say the biggest growth for players between his rookie and his second year, you know, after they've been through the league the first time. What did you learn from going through the league, kind of your first real run through the league, and what are you kind of looking forward to most as far as getting out on the court? Do you feel like you're more comfortable in sort of a leadership role here as the team's point guard?
Absolutely. I feel like that's a role that I'm gonna have to take on for us to take the next step, you know, being a point guard and also just being out on the floor more. I think that, you know, it's just gonna come with being more vocal and just being me, really. I don't think I really have to change too much more. I think I just have to assert myself a little bit more and let these guys know that, you know, I came to win. I'm coming to play, you know, as hard, and I'm going to push my teammates to do the same. I think just holding each other accountable is going to be a big part of it. But I just think, you know, being myself will always be, you know, the answer for that. And I think these guys, I think I earned the respect of a lot of my teammates by, you know, my work ethic and what I can do on the floor. So I think if I continue to do that and also push them to do the same, you know, and holding everybody accountable, I think that would be perfect.
Back to Chris Cuff.
Hey, Markelle, have you had any contact or talked a bit with Chuma over the last year or so?
Absolutely. I've been talking to Chuma since he first got here, and it's been another thing, you know, as well as with Cole, just to see him in the gym. But seeing Chuma in the gym, you know, getting up shots, especially going what he'd been through, you know, with his injury and going what he had to go through. I'm really excited for Chuma, another, you know, young talented player who loves to be in the gym, loves to work, and again, I'm here for him too if he has any questions, if he needs help with anything, and I'm excited to get a chance to play with him this year too.
Josh Robbins, The Athletic.
Markelle, we were told earlier this morning that Mo is not yet cleared for full contact coming off of his COVID diagnosis back in June. What steps are you and your teammates taking to try to keep him encouraged and keep his spirits up and lifted?
Just being there for Mo, really. I think just knowing that he has the support of his teammates, you know, especially me. I knew him before, you know, we even got on Orlando Magic, you know, before we even got to college or anything like that. So just always let him know that, you know, we're standing behind him, we support him all the way, and just take his time and do what he needs to do. I think that's the most important thing, just holding up his end of the bargain, you know, with, you know, conditioning, strength, or whatever he has to do to get back in the court, but also knowing that, you know, we support him whatever he has to go through. You know, I think that was a big thing when I came through here and got traded here. I think not only coaches, but, you know, my teammates were big supporters of me and just letting me know that, you know, they got my back. So that's what we all been, you know, saying to him and just sticking by his side.
Dante Markatelli.
Hey, Markelle, you finished last year on your terms, which was outstanding. What makes you most proud about last year, and what excites you most about the upcoming season?
What excited me most about last year was I was able to complete a whole season. I think I only missed one game, with a stomach issue. So that was the best thing about it, just being able to be on the floor and play the game I love, which is basketball, and actually be able to learn from everything, the good, the bad, the ugly. So that's what I was most excited about, is just being able to play a full season, but also going through the learning curves of, my mistakes and, even the good. And then this upcoming season, I'm just excited again to be back on the floor, after going through what I've been through. I don't take anything for granted. So every chance I get an opportunity to play the game of basketball, which I love, or do anything in life, I'm very appreciative, and I'm excited for what this team has in stores. I don't think a lot of people have us in a run or anything. And I'm pretty sure it's people that do, but I just love being the underdog, and I love, working to prove people wrong. So I'm very excited to, go into the season and go as far as we can.
Back to Dan Savage.
Markelle, we saw tremendous growth over the course of last season in your mid-range game, to the point where by the end of last season, you were ranking towards the top of the league in mid-range shots and clutch moments. What did you do over the course of the season that helped you make so much progress, and how confident are you that you turn to that in some of the clutch moments in games?
I think it was just getting the rhythm back. When you're away from the game of playing, live, you know, um, action, and also, my injury was a big part of it. I was progressing as the season went on, I was getting stronger, building more endurance through my shoulder, and also just being in those situations. I've been in those my whole career, and then to have it taken away and then just come back to it, it was a learning curve. I had to get back to, getting my instincts back of just, going into shots and everything like that. And I think my confidence just grew as the season went on, and also my mechanics and everything got more better. And right now it's the same thing. I feel really, really good, and I've been growing that same confidence from the 3-point line with off the dribble, catch and shoot. So I've been really excited, going into this next season. That's something that, is my sweet spot. It's always been my sweet spot, the mid range, being a bigger guard, being able to elevate over top of, people and shoot that comfortable is something that I'm definitely going to be looking forward to coming into the season. And also doing the same from the 3-point line.
We'll go a couple more. We'll go Jamie Say.
Markelle, because of COVID, and I'm sure you've seen stuff that's happened in the NFL and baseball and college football and everything, this could be kind of a weird year with things changing at the last second. What are your thoughts on, as you approach this season, on how to navigate a season through COVID and kind of the mindset that players have to have?
I think the mindset is you got to be patient, really. This is something that nobody has been through. I think, the bubble was great. We're trying something new. So I think the main thing is being patient, but also being responsible. I think as a man and, a player in this league, if you want to keep playing, you got to follow the rules, really, and, try to stay as safe as possible, wearing your mask, washing your hands, and, really social distancing, not trying to go around crowds as much as you can. So I think that's a big thing that, our team is, talking about, but even myself, just being responsible, trying to limit myself from any type of infections or anything like that, so just being safe. But I think the biggest thing is being patient, because I think this is something that, again, none of us has been through. So it's going to be times where, we might be frustrated, sometimes where we might be happy, but I think patience is the key.
Josh Robbins.
Markelle, I think you mentioned earlier in one of the areas that you're going to attempt to improve was finishing at the rim. How does a point guard go about doing that, particularly during an off season where contact drills don't occur?
I think it's more so in your work. You can simulate a lot of stuff. You got to go game speed. That's where your imagination kind of comes into play. Imagining where defenders are going to be. Working on all type of situations. Wrong foot finishes. Floaters, dunking. So it's really just using my imagination and kind of knowing from where I was last year and how teams were playing me, and the way that bigs were at the rim. I think I just try to work on all aspects of finishing around the rim. Wrong foot. Like I said, dunking, floater, and really just being ready for any situation that happens. So it's more instinct rather than trying to set up and think about it.
Okay, we'll go last question to Dan Savage.
Markelle, we heard from Cole Anthony on draft night how excited he was to play with you and how your games could complement one another. How do you think your games could complement one another, especially growing together over time?
Again, I think he's a great, young, talented player. Very athletic. He knows how to play the game. Screen and roll. He knows when to pass, knows when to shoot. Knows how to finish at the rim. So I think just you never can get too many guards really as far as going up and down the court. Like Coach said, I seen Coach say Kyle Lowry, Fred VanVleet. Just having multiple guards who can push the ball up the floor and play through screen and roll is always a great thing. So I think that we can be two guards who push it on the break. He can play off ball, I can play off ball, and I think that's going to be great for the season.
Okay, thank you, Markelle.
Thank you.
All right, everybody, that's going to